Good morning, guys. This is week 15, day 2. Deborah and Jael. Yeah, I know. Who's ever heard of them? Well, see, after Joshua died, there was no clear appointed leader. So, God comes in there and he would inspire men, mostly, to go and take care of Israel. They were called judges. And whenever Israel had a problem, they'd go to the judges and say, "Hey, judge, we need help." And they would help them what to do. And they would tell them what God's telling them. Hey, and we had various judges. And sometimes the judges went out and fought too. And they would lead them in battle. And one of those judges was a female judge, which is actually saying a lot back then. And that was Deborah. Deborah, it actually says this, I thought it was cool. She dwelt under the palm tree dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah, between Raham and Bethel, in the mount of Ephraim. It was kind of cool, so she actually lived under a palm tree. So she'd stay in there, and people would come to her and say, "Hey, I got a problem." And they'd come to her, and she'd go into others, and these like two people are fighting and arguing, "Oh, this should be done. Oh, no, it's got to be done this way." And they'd go to her, and she'd say, "God said it should be this way." And she was really smart, really good. Well, one day, the wind was blowing. Ow! We lost our soldiers. You'll stay there. Here later. Run this side. One day, Deborah goes and calls for Barak. Here. And says, "Hey, we're being attacked. About to have the army coming after us. Need you to go get 10,000 men from Benjamin and somewhere else. Oh, no, from Naphtali and Zebulun. Anything, here, go to the river over here. Go and fight them. Go, by this river. They're coming out of the mountains. Go over there, get ready for them." And he's like, "All right, I'll go, but you got to go with me." And she's like, "All right, well, you don't have enough faith to do it on your own. I'll go. And I'll go with you. But you won't get credit for the battle. A woman will get credit for the victory." So she goes with them, and they fought him. And when they run into the enemy, God kind of discomforted them, getting all nervous and stuff. And these 10,000 men of Barak defeated the enemy. But the king, somewhere in here, Sisera, our king, he ran away. Well, there's a lot of wind in here today. Sisera ran away. There we go. I need it though. And he took off. He's like, "We're being defeated," and he ran. And he ran and he ran. He finally got out of Israel's territory into a place where he was supposed to, where he had made peace with them. And he runs into Jael. And Jael he's like, "Hey, let me stay here." And Jael goes, "All right, yeah, you can stay here." And he's like, "Oh." He's like, "If anyone comes, tell them I went that way. I'm not here." Yeah, she's like, "Okay." He's like, "All right." He's like, "I'm tired. I'm going to rest. Can you give me some water?" Ask for water. And you know what she does? She goes and she gives him a nice glass of warm milk. Oh, he drinks it. He's like, oh, this is so good. And he falls asleep. And then Jael goes in there and grabs a tent peg, big, long. That's hard to do. She brought a long tent peg and a hammer. Why he was so sound asleep because he drank the warm milk, and then he'd been exhausted from all the fighting and the running. And she took it, put it right on the temple of his head, the tent peg, and then she took the hammer and smacked it in and nailed him to the ground. Went through his head into the ground, and he died right there. Well, the soldiers, after they got done fighting, they come in there and they're like, hey, we got to go find this king. And they chase him down and they're following him. They're following the clues and they're asking people. And they run into Jael. And Jael sees them and says, hey, look who I got for you. And she pointed it out to him. And they realized that Jael had been the one to kill the king. Oh, which is a cool story in itself, in that God used a woman prophetess, or judge, they also call prophetess too, because apparently she was prophesying, and a woman that we don't know what she does, but apparently knows how to use a tent peg and a hammer. But God used women. And back in Bible times, especially this early in Old Testament, women were just considered property. But no matter how low in the status pole you think you are in the world, because God never said women were property. God said women were equal to men. No. But no matter how low you think society treats you or anything, or how bad you think you are, oh, I'm not worth much, God can use you too. And God can use children too. There's stories of that in the Bible too. It's just children aren't judges, because judges have to be adults. So there's a story in the New Testament of God using a little girl. Actually, there's one in the Old Testament too. We'll have to cover that one. That's a good one too. God used a little girl. Okay, so you guys have a good day, and you remember, no matter what you think you are, God can use you. Okay, and I will see you tomorrow, and we go into our, one of the more famous judges who had lots of doubts. So we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.